Good day. Welcome once again to LATOKEN Venture Capital TV. I'll be your host for today. My name is Xavier. And like every session, we want to bring you the innovation, technology, and solutions you want to hear about. And the best part of all is that you get to hear it directly from the CEO and the other co-founders even. And another thing to mention is that you're always welcome to post your questions or comments in the chat box. So I think this is a unique feature that we provide where you can have a direct contact with the co-founder or the CEO of the project and make any questions you have. That's a great way to learn. It's a unique opportunity. So before we move on to the interview, as a reminder, you can see our previous shows and content by visiting token.com/VCTV/shows. Also follow us on socials like Facebook and Twitter. And if you're watching us on YouTube, just hit the subscribe button. You'll always be informed of great content, opportunities, and even giveaways. One last reminder, anything mentioned here is not any type of financial advice. Please do your research before making any decision. It's your choices and your responsibility. And with that said, I would like to welcome Fagan Kurbanov, CEO of Avoteo. Fagan, how are you? Welcome.
Hello, Xavier. Thank you. I'm fine. It's despite the market situation, we're doing great, and we are pushing forward, and everything is according to plan. It's nice to be here again and to meet you and to answer the questions and talk about this project.
Okay, we have prepared a set of 8 questions. However, we do welcome our viewers to post the questions or comments in the chat box. And just to refresh the memory of our viewers, I would suggest that we can watch a small video about Avoteo. Are you fine with that?
Yeah, that's
okay,
a great idea, of course.
Okay, let's have a look.
This is Tio. He is an entrepreneur and has a brilliant idea. But any idea needs funds to be implemented, and Tio is struggling to raise this funds. Banks don't support innovative ideas or projects they have no experience with. Avoteo does. Avoteo creates a platform that will support projects from both physical and digital worlds. Our community decides which project to support by voting for it. By holding a minimum amount of Avo token in your wallet, you will be able to submit your project on Avoteo platform and gather votes from the community. Most voted projects will be funded out of our funding wallet, or you can also vote for your favorite projects and receive interests from profits they generate after being funded. Avoteo Tokenomics, 1 billion max supply, 3% redistribution to all holders, 3% liquidity pool, 4% funding pool, burning function, decreasing supply, vesting times prevent token price from a dump upon listing, team tokens locked 2 years after listing. Avo token use cases. Full use of all Avoteo platform functions. Submit or vote for projects. Participate in governance votings. Benefit from redistribution and rising token value. Pay with Avo at discounted prices at partnered businesses and Avo ecosystem. Join the crowdfunding revolution. Vote. Don't pay. Avoteo is here. Join us at www.avoteo.io.
Great video. Great. It's always good to have a small summary about the project. To our viewers, again, the website is avoteo.io, where you can get more information about the project, token sale, the white paper, the roadmap, FAQs, and you can contact the team as well. Now, let's start a little bit with the questions. The current market situation is not easy, as you said. We've seen that happen, that everything is a little bit like on a very fragile situation, market conditions, tokens, the crypto business, and if we see the fear and greed index, there is extreme fear. So what does this represent, and how does it affect Avoteo?
Well, for now, I have to say that our investors are didn't lose a single cent actually, since our price is fixed for now until the end of the ICO. And of course, we hope that the sentiment will get better until we list in July. But in fact, these fluctuations are something very common in the crypto scene, and I mean it's always depending on the point of view and on the point when you joined, right? So if you joined the crypto space in, let's say, just 2 years ago, you are not at a loss at all. You are in huge profits. So the basic thing about crypto space, in my opinion, is the ability to hold, unless you are a professional trader and you are day trading and you are really experienced in things like that. You should just, in my opinion, you should just invest and hold your assets for a while. And I don't mean like 2 or 3 or 6 months. You should just scale out and look on the overall market for the last years. In the last years, it's obviously rising year by year, and I don't think that it will change in the next few years from now, because actually we are at the beginning. We are still very early, and all the projects that are starting here, projects that have several use cases, projects that have benefits, they will bring great value to the community. Avoteo particularly is actually not really a crypto project. It's a project that is using crypto. This is how I would describe that, because we are not really connected to crypto 100%, since we are planning to fund businesses from crypto world, but as well from the real physical world. So even if the market should go down, we will still generate profits for our community, and we'll be able to share those profits, like it is mentioned in our white paper. So we are not like 100% tied to the crypto business itself. Of course, sentiment, overall sentiment plays a role for us as well. And we are looking forward to the next market recovery, and it will come for sure. Nothing will last forever. And as you know, as you all know, actually, when the fear is the highest, it's the time to buy. So if we see the fear and greed index that you mentioned, I think smart money will start to invest somewhere around soon, and we will just flip around and go in the other direction.
Yep, I agree. That's true. When there's a fear index is high, then it's actually a good time to go shopping.
Yeah,
Shares
exactly.
or crypto. Great, I totally agree with that. Now, we already had in March 25th a show where we had you had a chance to explain us about the project. We had some interesting questions, and from that time until now, what are the recent updates? What's new? And if you don't mind, I would like also to, while you're presenting, I would like to share the screen with your webpage so people can also visualize it. There we go.
Yeah, so basically we are really on timeline. So everything is according to plan, which is very important in my opinion. I have experienced myself a lot of projects that have like a lot of delays, you know, and they are not delivering on time. They change the roadmap according to this. So from our side, I think the most important thing is I think 2 weeks ago we presented already some insight into the platform. We had a show on YouTube as well. People can watch this just by searching Avoteo. It's really easy to find on our channel as well. And there you can have the first insight in the platform itself, actually. And yeah, the most important update is that our beta release will happen before end of ICO. So this is going to happen in 2 steps. First release will be started on 21st of June. And in that point, all the people that are willing or waiting to contribute their own ideas will be able to use the platform for 7 days to get used to the platform, to all the functions, and to start contributing projects. And 1 week later, so on 28th of June, all the ICO investors will be able to use the platform, the beta version at least, and to start vote for the projects, to look how the website is working, to see what kind of projects are contributed and stuff like that. So we will be actually releasing the beta version even before the end of ICO, which was not planned actually, but we're very good in time, and development is proceeding very good. And yeah, I think this is something that we all are looking forward to, because besides everything around and all the marketing, the actual product and the vision is the very essence of what we are doing here, and providing is our main goal, I would say.
Okay, great. Good to hear that everything is on time, especially now because, as we mentioned before, like through these times that you're still able to maintain and keep on the timeline. Now, the next
This
question
is
is
very
about,
important for us.
yeah, definitely. The next question is about the high tax on the Avo token. How is it going to affect the trading of the token?
This is a question that we heard several times already. Some people are quite concerned about that, but this is a decision that we made for the beginning. It's just like just to push the project at the beginning. There will always be a certain tax on this token, because the funding wallet is obviously filled with the transaction taxes. So it will be minimum 4 or 5%, but we are a very community orientated project. So in 1 year from after listing, after we are on the first exchange, we will have community voting regarding this, and the contract is built the way that we can adjust the tax, adjust the percentage, and we will have voting on this. If we see that the high tax is really harming the project and prevents it from expanding, and the community decides that they would rather prefer to make it lower, this is what we are going to do. So it will be like a democratic vote, where everyone holding any amount of Avo will be able to vote on this, regardless on how much you are holding. It can be 1 Avo or 1 million Avo, you have the same voting power. And if the community decides to decrease the tax, this is what is going to happen. So it's very possible that it will stay the same, but it is also possible that it will decrease. However, it will never be higher than 10%. This is excluded, but it will be somewhere around 5 to 10%. Maybe we will go down in steps, like first to 8%, and then to 6%, and then to 4%. We will see how the community sentiment is, how the community decides in that. And we are pretty much independent in this thing. So it's not fixed, and it's not hammered in stone or something like that. We're pretty independent and flexible on this topic.
Okay, understand. And I think you have something about this 10% in your website as well, right?
Yeah, this is the initial percentage where we will start with, and then we will see how the market reacts, how the investors react, because of course it gives certain benefits, and like redistribution or the liquidity, but we will see in a year from now, or better said, in a year from the listing, what is the best way for us to proceed, and decide then if we keep it or if we decrease it.
Okay, perfect. Very good. Let's check a couple of positive feedbacks from our viewers. Mateos, yes, Fagan is the best. Okay, so you have
Thank
you
you.
have some admirers there. Very good. Sahil, from beginning, I love this nice project. There you go. It's always
Yes,
good to hear that from the community.
yeah, that is really a great thing. And actually, as you are on our website, there are already some reviews from our community. Like we receive lots of emails, and people are telling us their stories, how they came across Avoteo and what they think about Avoteo. So if anyone is interested in that, they can visit our website and actually read it there. Yeah, we appreciate this a lot, and because this shows that the community really understands our vision. They're understanding our goal, and they love the project, and they support us a lot. And for us, this is a lot of positive energy that makes us working even harder day by day, and to deliver and to fit these expectations, of course.
Okay, yes, very good. Now, another question is related to actually what we're seeing in screens, the future of the project midterm. And by midterm, we're talking about 1 to 3 years. Now, I know this is not easy, even seeing
Yeah.
forecasting for 1 year with everything that's happening, right? Regulators,
Yeah.
market conditions, and so on. But can you give us an idea midterm where are we going to see the project?
Well, in 1 to 3 years, I just can say what we are working on, what our goals are, and I think that we are going to reach the goals, and even to go further. So it's all about funding projects, right? So I hope that we will have a lot of very unique and interesting projects, projects that are changing the game, maybe, or just something that you don't get anywhere else. And these projects be funded, working together with them, building corporations, building partnerships. And in 3 years from now, for sure, we will be already distributing the first profit shares that these businesses already share with us. And yeah, this is kind of a goal that we have in 3 years from now, to have funded at least 20 projects that are working and doing well. And of course, we hope that our community will grow once the word is out, and once the marketing launches, after the platform is live. We hope that our community will keep to us, keep supporting us, and spread the word about Avoteo. And yeah, actually, the crowdfunding sector is growing year by year. It's a huge sector. It's a huge community that is already behind it. And yeah, I hope that with our idea, by contributing with a vote only, we will have a great part in this industry.
Then I have a question about the projects. Which is one type of project that you would like to see among those 20 projects that you mentioned?
Well, I hope that it will be projects from different areas, actually. If we talk about 20 projects in total, I hope that there will be some blockchain related, crypto related projects, of course, because there is a lot of things to come up and to happen in the next years, of course. I mean, we are not at the end, we are at the beginning, and still technology is developing, and so will the blockchain develop. And maybe projects related to real estate. It's always good profits. I think maybe some people from our community will come up with a great idea regarding this as well. New technologies, something very great. Environmental projects that help to not only make profits, but in the same time support the environment. A very important thing. And of course, some charities. Yes, because this is an important point too. But this is up to our community if they will decide to support them. Maybe not in the beginning, but as they make profits and as we grow bigger, I think this is something that will be for sure a part of Avoteo as well. And yeah, so just like spread in different directions. But for me personally, charity, new technologies, and blockchain is the most interesting area, with the real estate as well, to support, to fund, and to see. But at the end, the point is that it's not my or our team's desire that counts here. It's all about the community sentiment. So these guys will decide which projects are good enough to get funded, to have future perspectives, and yeah, to bring success.
Okay, yeah, it's community based. And in this sense, another question that I have, I would assume that some of the viewers right now are developing their own projects. Of course, they would have to belong to the community, but how would they practically speaking, how do they position or how do they present their project to Avoteo or to the Avoteo community?
Actually, they after they are signed up and they have a certain amount of AVO that is necessary, we set for the beginning, we set the necessary amount to be able to contribute the project to 2,000 AVO token. So we have to hold them a new wallet to be able to contribute. For voting, however, it's much less. It's 200 AVO tokens that you have to hold to be able. So this is the first thing, and then you are pretty much guided by the platform in order to contribute to projects. So you have several spaces and fields the platform is asking you to provide, and of course it's up to the project contributor to present themselves the best possible way. I mean, you can just send in a description and that's it. And I think the possibility that people will give you their votes are really low in this case. So you have to add media, you have to add information about the team and the background. You have, I think you have the possibility to go through the process and add as much as possible, but in a way that the people don't get annoyed and bored, because they are not going to spend like hours studying your project. You have to raise interest in the beginning and to make something really eye-catchy and to show what it is all about. And once you have the interest, you can go deeper and provide more information. And this is the process actually where they will contribute to projects on the platform. Of course, the profit share will be a point as well. I mean, if you have two similar projects, for example, and one of the projects is willing to share like 5%, and exactly the same or a very similar projects is with the same background and same technology is willing to provide like 20%, it's obviously that the community will most probably vote for the ones who are willing to share more. So I think there are some points to consider regarding this, but we will take and assist these projects as well. We will prepare a certain area on the platform where they can download documents, where they can download guidelines about process development, business development, and stuff like that. Anything that belongs to it, and they can use it to improve their presentation, actually. And the skill marketplace helps in this regard, of course. So maybe you have a great idea, but you don't have a graphic designer yet, or someone who is able to produce a video. So you can search for these people on the platform, on the skill marketplace, and cooperate with them.
Oh, okay. So that people will be able to cooperate among each other.
Yeah, they can cooperate among each other, but they can also use some on the skill marketplace. Actually, it's a part of the platform.
Okay.
So if you are offering some kind of service, you don't want to contribute to project, or you're not voting for projects, but you just like you're searching for some gigs or jobs on the platform. You just present yourself. You can tell what your skills are, like a mix of maybe LinkedIn and Fiverr. And people that are contributing projects, they are just searching for some people. They have the possibility to search, and they will see, okay, we have these guys and they have certain skills, and we can need one of those, and contact them, communicate with them, and work together on the platform.
Yeah, it's like a job marketplace kind of thing, right?
Actually,
And is this going to be developed, or is it actually working now?
it's actually working. It will be available in the first edition. It will be available in the beta release as well, but in the full release, there will be also a chat available where people can communicate inside the platform without leaving it.
Yeah.
And we will be providing an intermediate wallet, so we have a certain kind of security. So, like the project will transfer the amount they agreed on to the intermediate wallet, and only once the freelancer delivered, they will be paid. So you have a kind of security.
Okay.
They must not use it. They can if they want, just to avoid scam or fraudulent or bad delivery. They can use it, but they don't have to. It's up to them.
Okay.
Actually.
And I guess then centered to this is, of course, the Avo token, right?
Of course.
Okay,
They
great.
can pay in Avo token, but can pay in stables as well. It depends.
Mhm.
We don't want to force the people, because maybe some people are preferring just to hold the Avo token and not to spend it for payment and stuff. They can, but even here we give them the possibility to say, okay, I want to pay an Avo token, or I can pay in a stable coin or whatever. For example,
Okay,
most
great.
probably it will be USDT.
Yeah. I was thinking about that. This leads me to another question. What are the benefits of holding the Evo token?
Well, besides the fact of the growing demand that we will have, because as we mentioned in the beginning, to contribute or to vote, you have to hold a certain amount of Avo. So once the project is growing and we have more exposure and more people join, they need Avo tokens to be able to use the platform, right? So the bigger we grow, the bigger the community grows, the higher is the demand for the token itself. And this is something that usually gives token rising value regarding the price itself. So this is one point, and of course the profit share is another point. So the more Avo token you are holding, the more profit share you will receive once the funded projects start to be profitable. And of course, if you want to, you can use your Avo token to pay for certain services provided by the funded projects at a discounted price. So actually, you have several benefits besides the redistribution. I mean, you have 3% on every transaction that is distributed to the holders. So your Avo token amount is growing in your wallet when you hold it. Yeah, I think
Okay.
these are the basic and major benefits of holding the token in your wallet for a long term.
Yeah, of course. And the key word I think there is long term, as this project is really well thought of. And of course, if you thought of the long term, then token should reflect that.
Yeah.
I would now what I've seen, for example, in the conventional crowdfunding pages, there's somehow a certain time limit for the
Mhm.
voting period where people will go there, and there's a budget to be reached in the next period of time. Now, with Avoteo, can you please take us through the process of voting?
Yes. Our voting process and period is actually tied to the funding wallet. So, for example, when we start, we will set a certain amount to be in the funding wallet, and once this amount is reached, the voting period stops. And whatever project is among the top voted projects, that will be funded. For example, we have, let's say it was numbers, we have like $100,000 in the funding wallet. This will be most probably the first goal, and then we will set the other one. Maybe it will be higher. It's depending on the traffic and on the trading volume. But let's say it's 100K for the beginning. And let's say the top voted project is asking for funding of 50K. So we will fund them. And since we will have another 50K left in the funding wallet, we will fund the next one until this money is used. And once it's used, the next voting period will start, and people can start voting again until the next funding goal is reached in the wallet. And this is pretty much determined by this amount that is in the funding wallet at the time.
And it's the project who decides on the target amount.
Yeah, because assuming you have a project and you have an idea and then you have a business plan, then you should know how much you need to make this idea
So
come
they set
true.
it
So
up.
you
Okay.
say, I mean, there are businesses that need like, I don't know, 50 or 100K because they have already a product and they need only marketing, and they don't have the money for marketing. Because I mean, making a product is one thing. Mostly it's the easier part. I mean, having the idea is great, but the marketing is the most expensive part about that. And if you don't have the funds for this, you can have the greatest idea, but you will not benefit from that. So there may be projects that will say, okay, we need like 100K just for marketing and stuff like this, and we need support here. And there will be another project, for example, a real estate project that is going to build, I don't know, a building with I don't know, 200 apartments. There we will talk most probably about 10 million funding. So it's a difference, and they have to decide how much they need according to their goals and business plans. And of course, we will be checking this when they contribute in the beginning. We will be checking their business plans and to see how realistic it is. Because if some people just come up with an idea to build, I don't know, a house in the middle of New York, and they say we need just like 100K, it's not doable. So these projects will be sorted out from the beginning, but basically they have to define the funding budget themselves.
And one question I always had with the crowdfunding part, and I think it's a good time to ask to you. Let's say, for example, my goal is 100,000, call
Yes.
it euros, but I've only reached 95,000 and my time is up. I did not reach my goal. Then in that case, what happens?
Well, you don't gather direct money. You only have to gather votes. So if your goal is 100,000 and the goal of the funding wallet is 200,000, and you have the votes and you are the top voted project, you will receive the 100K from the funding wallet. So
Okay.
it's not like you gather funds directly in a common way, like for example on other crowdfunding platforms. You don't have to gather money from this. It's only for charities that will have direct donations, so people can say, okay, we're donating a certain amount to them, but all the other projects will be receiving only votes, and only the top voted projects will be funded.
Okay, great. And then my next question is, will there be, or will you be focusing on some geographic areas? Let's say, for example, it was a real estate, or the whole world is welcome?
The whole world is basically welcome, of course, but it's depending on the regulations. I mean, if there are certain countries that are excluded from this by state regulations, by legal regulations. For example, let's take North Korea. Most probably, they are not able to be funded by a Western company. Of course, we cannot go against the legal existing regulations, but except of that, the whole world is welcome, of course. And at the end, the community has to decide whether they think that this geographic area is trustworthy and that they want to give them the possibility and the trust. I know that there are a lot of countries in the world where people have actually great ideas, but nowhere at all to make them reality. I mean, they don't have even access to bank accounts or stuff. They have access to the internet, but they have no bank accounts. I mean, there are billions of people in the world that don't have a bank account at all, but that doesn't mean that they cannot come up with a great idea. And I don't want to be too placative, but making dreams come true is actually one part of Avoteo. So if you are a guy from let's say area with a low income, but you still have a great idea, you can contribute it. And if you can convince the people in the community that you are able to deliver, and people give you a trust, and thus the votes, you will be funded no matter where you're coming from.
Okay, fair enough. Very good. You mentioned like a few minutes ago the profit sharing distribution. Can you talk a little bit more about it?
Yeah. So, like said before, the project determines a certain amount that they are willing to share with the community for the funding they receive. So basically, the most voted idea that receives the funding, a new company will be created, and the amount that they determined in the beginning, let's say 20%, during this company creating, Avoteo will hold 20% shares of the new company. So there will be basically like a shareholder of this idea. And this 20% will be shared with the Avoteo company. And we will take all the profits that we receive from the funded projects. And obviously, the more projects we fund, the higher will be the profit share. And from this amount, 40% will be shared among all the investors that are holding Avoteo actually.
Okay, good. Thank you. That part I was missing. Great. And obviously, then the benefits for the community for this is that they will be able to participate in the project and then get a return on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, good. Now, the burning of unsold tokens after the ICO, how will that happen, and what's the amount, if you know?
The amount will be defined after the ICO is over. So
Okay.
unsold tokens will be burned, no matter how much that is, and they will be burned in steps, not like all at the same time. We will define periods after listing, and we will stick to them. But I think we will be done until end of this year. So it may be 2 or 3 or 5 burning events where they will burn partly. So assuming, let's say we sell only 30% of the planned amount in the ICO, team tokens and advisor tokens will be burned accordingly. So the percentage of the team tokens will remain the same.
Okay, great. Thank you for that. Now, this is the part that I would call the call for action for people to
Yeah.
actually who are interested to take part in the project. Please tell us a little bit about the ICO. When
Yes.
do we expect that to happen?
Well, the ICO is ongoing right now.
Ongoing.
Actually, we are
Okay.
in the last phase. We had a private sale round in the first round. Now we are on the last round, which is going to end in end of June. And yeah, particularly we have an IEO on LATOKEN also, so people can participate on LATOKEN directly, or they can buy from our ICO website, which is avo-token.com. So they can contribute the way they prefer, actually.
Okay. Great. So there's two ways then they can participate now as we speak.
Yes, actually, we have also an IDO on another exchange. It's P2P, B2B, but I think for the people that are more about security and they don't want to participate somewhere else, we can say that there are only these 3 ways, and which is very important because I told it in the last show already. There are a lot of scam sites selling Avo token now. It's already, even the scam version is listed on PancakeSwap. So please be
Oh, wow.
careful, and yes, be careful. Check the contract. Only the contract that is listed on our site is valid. So any other contract is just a scam, and there are no other ways to buy the Avo token besides these 3 ways that I mentioned, which is LATOKEN, our website, and P2P. So please don't let anybody scam you or tell you something else. This is the only way to buy a legit Avo token for the ICO.
Okay, then that is extremely important what you just said. For people to know exactly when that they can purchase. Then those are 3 ways. To our traders, please go to latoken.com. Just type in the name of the project, and then you will participate. If you do not have an account in Latoken, please simply go to latoken.com, open an account, and then just you have to submit only one piece of document, and then you'll be ready to trade. I
There
thank you
is
very.
actually
Yes.
there is actually airdrop ongoing on LATOKEN. I think they can see it on your social networks and Twitter and stuff, and they can join and participate and to get free tokens after they have submitted the mandatory tasks. One of the tasks is buying $20 worth Avo token, which is 400 Avo token at the moment, and to complete social media tasks. And yeah, if they do that, they will be eligible for the airdrop, which is still ongoing for a couple of days, I think.
Okay, thank you. And if I am able, I would just like to share one final time a screen with our viewers. I hope you can see it. This is the landing page for Avoteo
Yep.
in LATOKEN. As you can see up, the we could go straight to the webpage latoken.com/IEO/AVO. There you will
Mhm.
be able to not only find all information, but here you can participate in the first round will be actually ending 31st of May. It starts 14th. It started 14th of March. Just for
Yep.
information, as you know, you're still on time. This is the first round. Obviously, there will be other rounds. Then, as it happens, the token will be more expensive. Here you can see the project summary. You will be able to see the tokenomics, token allocation, the audit, how they audited, and also the team behind it. So all the information you need in order to make a decision is here. So please get
Well,
familiar with the project.
if you scroll down just a little bit to the coin, I wanted to say a couple of words to that. There is one picture with this frame and the silver token inside it. Just a
Yes, I
little
saw
bit
it. This
more
one?
down. Yes, this one exactly. We are actually sending silver plated and full silver coins, like physical coins, by post.
Uh-huh.
If you contribute a certain amount. So if you buy $1,000 worth of Avo token now in the ICO, we will send silver coin to your shipping address. And if you invest $2,500, you will get a full silver coin, which is very beautiful actually. And people love it. Our community loves it, and we're shipping them during the last weeks already. It takes a while, but yeah, they love them. They're very beautiful. Let me take a look. Maybe I have one here. Yeah, I can show it actually.
Okay.
This is how they look like. So
Wait, just give me a minute. I'll stop the screen and there you can see. Aha.
yeah,
And that is silver.
this is a silver one. Yes.
Oh, wow.
So it's
Okay.
pretty big actually, but
Uh-huh.
yeah, it looks good.
Okay, very good, very good. So then they would have with that silver one, it's 2,500 worth of avo, right?
Yes, exactly. It's not. They are limited, so they will
Mhm.
have value for the collectors, and certain benefits will be tied to this token to this coin holders. So we will have certain events where will you have, for example, free entry, and where you will have invitations. So, for example, all the silver tokens holders will be invited to certain events taking place in the future. So quite a lot of benefits, and I cannot tell about all of them because
Mhm.
some things will be announced in time. But yeah, this is actually a good thing to help them.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Thank you very much to our viewers. Please remember the IO will end 30, the first round will end on the 31st of May. Please visit
Yeah.
latoken.com/IEO/AVVO in order to not only learn more about the project, but you can get involved. You can actually start investing in the project. And just for your reference, I would like to put it here under our viewers,
Good.
latoken.com/IEO/AVO. That's the webpage you
Exactly.
want to go to. Please be very careful of scams. Just use those links that are mentioned in the webpage of Avoteo, which is avoteo.io. Please be very careful. Now, with that said, thank you very much for being here with us. Do you have any final words for our traders today?
Well, I would say don't panic. Keep on holding. Don't let the market fool you, because just remember when it all started in 2010, 2011, back then, the people who kept with holding, they didn't panic. I think they're very happy today.
Indeed, 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 indeed. It's about thinking long term.
Yes, like in
Great.
any investment, patience is
Exactly.
the key.
Exactly. Well, thank you very much. Really appreciate having you here once again. Wishing your project all
Thank
the
you.
best.
Good.
And
Thank you very much too for your time.
then
It
hope you
was great to be here.
definitely hope to have you again here on the show. And to our viewers, well, also thank you for attention. Have a great day and see you in the next show. Goodbye.
Bye bye.